What's up, y'all? Why am I glitching? Okay, that looks better. What's up, peoples? Season 2, Episode 5, Smite. Let's get into it. Let me introduce my lovely co host, the one and only, the receipt queen, Miss Dina, aka Christina. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, oh, hey.
Hey, Lady V.
Lady V in the
Hey,
building.
look at you. Yes, you just in time.
Oh, look,
Look,
here go
hello,
BB. I'm
BB.
going to need to
Did
know,
you bring your violets?
did BB wake
BB
up
and
and
her
choose
violets.
violence today?
You need to change your name to Violet B.
I think BB is for pew pew. You know what I'm saying? Like a little BB
The
gun.
BB gun.
Because there be some shots fired, honey. It be some
Yes,
shots
is
fired.
in the building. Okay, so I want to try a little bit something new this time. Well, not new, but add a little something extra. Because since this is so old, I kind of forget where we're at in the whole thing. So, what does it say? So, okay. Smite is the fifth episode of the second season of FX original series Sons of Anarchy and the series' 18th episode overall. This episode aired October 6, 2009. Written
That was
by Chris
woo.
Collins, directed by Terrence O'Hara. Okay, so let's get into it. So, so much is going on. It's just chaotic. They are trying, as in they, we do mean Zobel and Weston, are trying really, really hard to just aggravate Sam Crow and catch them slipping. And child, they did. So let's just get into it, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
So this episode started off with this whole thing right here. Okay. So I totally forgot about this scene. Now, this is just one scene that we don't have many of where the manuscript is the elephant in the room,
Right.
but no one's talking about it.
Because Tara knows about it.
They all know about it, really,
Right.
yeah. So, you know, well, Tara doesn't know about it yet until later. She knows something's going on though, because remember he shows her later. So he comes in from the garage as Gemma comes in, and she's still sitting very slow. She's still sore and swollen,
Mm-hmm.
all that good stuff. She says she drives him off. He doesn't. Tara says she's gonna write her a prescription
For some estrogen.
And once again, this is Gemma, basically coming to Tara once again. So you starting to see them trying to form a friendship, or what call it, even though they avoid each other completely. I'm a Capricorn. It depends on the day. Tomorrow, I will be coming in hot concerning that couple on your. Oh Lord, whew. I haven't even watched it yet. Well, baby, I just want to let you know. Maybe we should have made a notification about it, but now that you mention it, we are also going to be talking about Baddies West on tomorrow's recap. We are now going to be combining Baddies West and Crazy in Love.
Yes, yes.
Show, just so you know.
Y'all gonna get a 2-for-1 tomorrow, baby.
Special, baby. That's what we do. We got that deal. Wendy Williams says, as ladies, we have the right to change our minds. I have to agree, BB. Our homos make us feel all types of ways too. And yeah, and that's fine. And yes, we do have a right to change our mind. I mean, don't we deal with enough in life? Shoot. Do we not? honestly. Okay, so then we are finally going to see this develop. This is Layla and Opie. So Layla comes in with a flat tire. Just she actually drove on this, so she don't messed up everything. And Opie says it's gonna be a couple of hours before she can get her car back. So he arranges for her to get some transportation for her and her son because she gotta get her son to school. And so he gets in the car. He sees vials on the floor. You know, it looked like she had just had her a nice little book. Yeah, Layla looked like she be on that good stuff. I mean, if you're doing in that industry, you would too. Because I would definitely need something to take the edge off if I'm getting all these new shows I never heard of. Baddies, what it's Baddies, yeah, it's Baddies West. So it's kind of like a spinoff, if you will, or an extension later on, sequel to the Bad Girls Club. And Natalie Nunn is a part of it. She's like the recruiter type deal. She's like the face of it. Baddies. There is Baddies South, and then there's Baddies West now. So yeah. So this one's Baddies West. But we have of course yours truly on there. Krishan is back for another season because this is the second season. We have Tommy from Love and Hip Hop. Um Roly Poly Snack Meals is back. Um what's that girl? Stunner Girl is on there. So it's quite a season for first episode actually. But you know what it is. May we discuss no jumper interview tomorrow? The no jumper interview. What's the no jumper interview? Oh, the interview where he kicked her out. Wow. We're gonna talk about everything tomorrow. Everything that's been happening, to the pregnancy, to the everything. So we're gonna get it. But let's talk about Sons of Anarchy, shall we? Because that's what we're here for. So the Sons roll up at Zobel's cigar shop, and you know how it is. He tells them, "Look, you're gonna have to pay us for protection. Whoop whoop whoop. You gonna need us if you wanna, be successful." You know how Clay is coming in with his little small guy too. I'm like, first of all, as soon as they pulled in on their motorcycles, I would have went up and locked my door. But of course, that ain't how Zobel or Western roll. They look like some punks if they did that. But still, I would not have left them in my shop. Like, no. You all right over there, Nina? What you doing? I can't hear you. I can't even hear you.
I'm 100% listening because we had got sidetracked with the other shows, but I am back listening to you. I just had to respond to my family real fast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm here. I'm here. I'm just
okay.
responding.
Are you okay? So now Zobel's telling Weston that Clay needs to be humble. Okay, you really think you about to humble the Sons? First of all, I don't know why they think they can come into Charming.
Really, I don't either.
Thinking that they can run anything up in here. Like, who is you? Really, just okay. I see they feel that they got the backing of some rich white folk out there, and they got some history on their side because you got hail and everything. So you think something is gonna be all good, but you are dealing with Sam Crow. Like, you have no idea what you are dealing with. Period. You see what you did to that matriarch, and nothing happened. So what you really think you about to do to these men? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, you really got balls to just come up in here waving your little flags and your little swastika tattoos, whatever that word is for that thing, and whatever. So bow down. is what I got to say. Just bow down. Just bow down. So they also want to play behind closed doors in the cell, so they don't got two of the AB men to attack Otto right here. And this is where we see Otto get his eye. They jammed that mop stick in his eye. And that's how we now see him wearing the patch for the remainder of the series after this. So they don't mess up the good eye. So like they
They
just
just
messing
don't know
up
who they
so
messing with. They
like
don't know
Otto
who they
goes
messing
through
with.
it. Otto goes through it this entire series. Like he has it the worst out of any of the members throughout this entire series. Like his story is like, oh my gosh, something is always bad happening to him.
Right.
Like from this moment on, it's just so it. I hate when I see Otto every single time because it's heartbreaking every single time. Just about after this, except for those moments in season was it season 5 when he's in the jail cell and
Yeah,
Tara's
that's just
but
and I totally 100% agree with you, because we're not gonna talk a whole lot about what happens to Otto, but I honestly, I would have definitely um seriously contemplating going on into the afterlife with all of the issues that took place with him.
yeah, I don't understand how that yeah. Yeah. Like once he and again I don't want to get too far, but once Luann, I would have thought him and yeah, so that was my sister was watching baddies. I said, "Hold on, if I swell and Tommy, maybe I'm getting old, but I can't watch it." It is yeah. You definitely gotta get your mind right after watching that. When he talks to Isabel, played it correctly, he could have ran that time. But how? How would that have been? How would he have done that, BB though? How could he have done that with Sons? I mean, he would have had to get in bed with the Sons in order for that
Hmm.
to happen, and maybe he could have ran it with them. Maybe they could have ran this side, and they could have ran this side, or they could have ran this part of it, and they could have ran that aspect of it. But I don't see Sons when that happen. I mean, look what they go through to keep their status in Charming. Seriously, what else could they have done? What could Zobel do? It's racist. He don't care about the pronunciation. We don't care about the Poor Otto, his maniac is truly just yes, yes. It's the point. Like Otto just had it to work. Yes, I never liked how the club kept screwing Otto over again and again. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, I I was always hoping to see Otto on the outside. I always thought by the end of the series, Otto's gonna be out. I felt like if anything, that was one thing I was sure about. Otto would be out by the end of the show. So that's why I'm like, oh, how did that have to end for him like that? It was just cruel. But and to know that he did that to his own character, like you decided to play this character.
That
This
was
is the
weird.
worst, and you play like that. That's why I call him a sadistic genius because he's sadistic, but yeah, he's a genius, and that's just how it goes. All Isabel needed was they outnumbered the sun.
Hmm.
True, that's true. That is true. But this, I mean, hey, sometimes it ain't about the numbers. It's about a whole nother thing, and
Hmm.
that's why Sam. Look, it's about the history. Sam Crow has power to history. They have the but they have resources. They have a different type of resource than they do. And this is their town. They know the town in and out. Everybody knows them regardless. If you fuck with them or not. Period. You just know them. So that always is gonna outnumber at some point. That's how I feel. So Zobel and Weston, they roll up on Hale right here. And I just, first of all, they is dirty for how they do things. So they gonna slay him to this. This was blackmail. This was blackmail without making it look like it was blackmail. But that's what, and when I first saw this, I wondered, like, why is he giving him this ticket like that? Like, you could have just handed him the ticket. You didn't need to put it in an envelope. Like, that looked real weird. But now we see it was all a setup.
Right.
And they got him good. Yeah, they got him good. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
Right, exactly.
And that proves that it looked like a bride, period. No matter how you look at it, you can't see what's in there, but you taking something from this man, being a cop or an official, whatever, a sheriff. So, joke's on you. So in the same breath, while that's going on, Gemma finally sees this broad, and I can't stand this broad.
I can't wait to Gemma whoop her ass.
So yeah, this little lopsided stiff bob bitch here is what she is, and she got this ugly green van, placed it there, and then but Gemma spotted her. Like Gemma was like, pew! She just like zoomed in on her, and she was like, "Oh, like, is that bitch?" She looking like, hold on, bitch, is that you, bitch? Is that you, bitch?
I'm surprised she didn't pull her little readers out, and be like, "Oh yeah, that's her." Like, you know how old folks be like, "Let me put my glasses on."
Like she didn't need them. She knew. And look, she probably did, but as soon as she ran, she knew, like, oh, that is you. That is you. And I would have dropped the purse. I felt like the purse was slowing her down. I would have dropped the purse. I was like, why are you holding the purse? Just drop the purse. Tara gonna be right behind you. She'll pick it up. She ain't gonna let nothing happen to you.
That part.
Period. Oh, the lady with the doll. Yeah, lady with the doll in the back.
And that's when we knew she was with him. We knew that she was with them in some type of way, but we didn't know her actual role until later on in this episode when they end up at the church, and then they didn't even tell him that Gemma was chasing them.
No. And that's what I'm like, why wasn't that even mentioned?
Like straight up, as soon as she got out the car, she's like, "Hi, Dad." Like, ain't nothing went wrong. When you would think all the illicit shit y'all got going on, that you would be like, "Hey, Dad, that crazy lady that y'all had me tricked to get in my car saw me on the street today." And why she just out walking the streets without a freaking care in the world?
I think they did like that probably because they wanted to put an emphasis on the fact, like a big wow. They didn't want to take away from the fact that, oh, we're finding out this is Zobel's daughter. I don't think they wanted to take away from that scene because that's what that scene was purely for, I feel. So they didn't want to iterate anything else because I really wasn't even paying attention to the dialogue much after I realized, like, oh snap, this is daughter.
Right, but I be paying attention to all the little nuances and stuff. So that's why I was kind of like, dude was like, everything is set, no Houston, we have a problem or nothing like that. So I just thought that was kind of weird. But the one thing I didn't get, I know that I guess had to have that scene, but if they didn't go back and tell him I didn't understand, why they got the girl out walking all out in the street being seen. If A, Gemma wasn't gonna beat her ass, and B, they wasn't gonna tell the daddy that Gemma chased her. I was just like,
Right.
why? But that's just
Well,
me.
but I digress.
Right.
But when Tara did meet up with her, she clocked her so good. She still is. Now Tara should have known better. Use a
Right.
doctor. You know
When
what
somebody
happened to her.
is in a crazy mode, you don't just be walking up on folks like that.
No, you just can't do that. And that's exactly what she did. She just, but she got her good. I know in hindsight, she probably was, like, he after the fact, because it is Tara. She really don't like her. And so she probably got a little kiki out of it when she got home and thought about everything afterwards.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But she did get her good. Like, damn.
If it's somebody I don't like and I accidentally clock them, I would be happy about it. Even though I was like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? I probably would have still been like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then I'd have cracked the hell up when I got home.
I don't know why my Wi-Fi is acting so jaggy tonight.
Girl, that's the spirits.
Tara was standing way too close to her reflex. Yeah, facts. And probably a little bit of both. First of all, you ran up on the chick in public. You don't know if it could have been her or not. She should have been right behind her. Like, why was she so fine when they showed her? She should have been right behind Gemma after that.
Uh-oh. Hello, you
Am
there?
I pausing on you?
Yeah, but I thought
Am I
could
pausing
be
on
me.
you? It's me because I see my Wi-Fi thing jumping. Okay, let's hurry up and get through this episode because I don't know for how long I'm gonna last tonight. The
Yeah,
way this
that's
is
how I
acting.
be doing mine. That's why I don't even have the backgrounds on no more. Well, I mean, I probably could go to the other room where the wall is more blank, where it would work. But yeah, I just been like,
Yes, BB. Yes, we gonna get through this real quick because tonight ain't the night for me. Okay, okay. So Jax calls me tail because why did he go? Oh yeah, because he was to tell him that look, Zobel and them going after Otto in the slammer now. So what is you gonna do about that? And so that's when Hell lets him know, like, look, it is what it is. I ain't, about to be doing this for anybody. I don't lay down for nobody. So right after he leaves, he did watches the first day because he saw himself first. He watched the second CD first. So once Jax left, he watched the first CD, and that's when he saw that you see Opie's face clear as day on this motherfucker.
mm-hmm.
Like, oh, they really is playing chess when Sam Crow is playing checkers. Cause they on the whole ball game, they just wheeled him in. It didn't take them nothing. It didn't take them nothing, and that's why you see now this episode where Jax and Clay bumping heads. See, Jax is finally starting to think and he's reading his father's manuscript more.
Mm-hmm.
So he's finally starting to think and understand there's a different way to do this. And if it wasn't for Jax thinking this way, it could have blew up. It
Real
really
fast.
could.
I think if Jax would have never found the manuscript, I think that there would have been so many more wars. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not. I mean, because Gemma knows about the manuscript now, so I'm not sure if she would have told to get it even more popping. But I do know that at the time, all the events that have taken place after Jax read the manuscript, had he not before them, it would have, I think it would have been like all the way live. This would have been like a one season, because there would have been a war and everybody be dead.
Facts. So they go and meet up with good old Oswald. Here he is back at it, mingling with Sam Crow. He just can't. It seems he look like he is
He's
just
dumb.
mad.
Honestly, I think he is dumb because, first of all, if you was a savvy business person, landowner, ain't nobody finna give me no paper and be like, oh, you got to sell me your land for pennies on the dime, or we gonna get the county and the state, or whoever involved, and because we're gonna put a highway through your land. And yeah, some people would be like, you know what, I'm ready to go anyway, and I'm gonna sell it and move on. I was just waiting for a push. But if you wasn't trying to sell your land or get some money, real money out of it, because you know how, like, when they do all the diversification, they be paying some people like the 2 or 3, 5 times their house, because they know once they knock all these houses down and put in these $1 billion condos, they gonna make their money back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So that for somebody asking you to sell your land for pennies on the dollar, like, nah, you gonna have to get the hell on.
that's what I'm saying. Especially this is my land. Like, see, Oswald's soft. You see, every time he is on,
Mm-hmm.
everything that happens, he just turns out to be so like just soft. Like,
Yeah, he ain't
and
coming
he just
through to save nobody. He's the kind of person. Well, I mean, he did. He gave them that one information that they blackmailed him into giving, but I wouldn't put my life in his hands to come through on nothing unless, you know
hell
what
no.
I'm saying, I needed a judge's name to run him off the road or something like that. He'd be good for that,
That's
but
all he's good for is some
yeah,
information.
if I needed him
I
to
was
show up in court and be a character witness for me, I don't know. He's the type that would accidentally on purpose be late. I don't like it.
Nah, for real. Yeah, he's really dumb.
Yeah, like, he is dumb.
And if you ain't gonna fight for the land, then like why do you even have it? How did you even yeah, you had to have inherited because how did you even get it in the first place?
Right, because
Because
we
you
see
just
all
that
these
willing.
movies and shows about people fighting to the death for their land. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
he probably like, you know what? I inherited this crap. I ain't want to be here anyway. Let me get my little ducats and coins and whatnot and mosey the hell on.
and get the hell on. Exactly. That's what that sounds like right there. Okay. So so yeah, so Jax finds out that Gemma hit Tara, so he goes to the hospital to check on her. But she
Hmm.
assures him that Mommy Dearest did not do it on purpose, and it was all just an accident, a misunderstanding, a little incident. And then here you got this broad here, all up in Tara business.
I know. I was just about to talk about her. And now we know later on some things transpire and we realize her true motive or whatnot. But right about now, she just seems like an extremely
Right,
nosy hoe. And
right now.
she just on my last MF nerve. You hear me?
Yes. Like, what is the point of you? And that's what I kept saying the debut of this. I'm like, why is she here? What is the point of her? What is she gonna do? She about to get Tara in trouble, and Jack's gonna unalive her.
Right. She messing with the coins. You don't
Right,
mess with the
right. Come
coins.
on now. What is you doing? Like, don't mess up a good thing. Just don't do it. But as we tend to find out later on. But that's neither here or there. So Sam Crow takes the letter that Oswald had gave them to Unser, and he says he'll see what he can find out, and whoop whoop whoop, and let him know like, look, hell might be all up in this, in bed with the racists and all of that stuff, and whoo wee, you do not want. That's one thing you don't want. You do not want to be called out. First of all, this is exactly what Hale did not want to do. And that is
Right.
what, and even we find out, and then we find out that's not what Unser wanted him to do. So we'll get to that though. So here we have a nice little bra. I don't know how I ended up getting this still right here at the bottom, which makes me laugh so hard. So Jax rolls up on his bike with Gemma, and he sees that they about to go at it. Sam Crow's
Mm-hmm.
about to go at it right outside Zobel's. You know, he is not about to have any good business already
Mm-mm.
because you got your biker gang, you know, fighting in front of and right in the middle of the street,
Right.
just showing up all up in your stuff. And first of all, and I just want to go back to when Clay had came up in Zobel's shop. He took all three the cases of cigars off of his counter when
Mm-hmm.
he left. I would have been like, run me my money. Period. But I guess that's what he owes them since he's protecting the shop. First of all, you ain't about to come up in here and say anything about media to protect you about nothing. I don't need no protection because I ain't in no bullshit, but we already know that he is. But anyway, so we see that Gemma don't tucked away this manuscript, and even herself couldn't find herself able to resist to go read the mind and the likes of
I mean, how could you
John
not?
Prellish.
Because remember when she was sitting there reading it in the nursery, and so now she's intrigued. She can't put it down, and I mean, part of her probably feels like, well, these are his last words. You know what I'm
Which
saying?
they are.
I'm gonna have to read this. I can't just skim through it and try to find Gemma. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to read through this and see what he said or felt about me or, whatever.
Yes. So the quote that she reads is, I realized that in my downward spiral of hopelessness, I was actually falling into a huge hole created by my absence of basic human graces. The most obvious was forgiveness. If I was wronged by anyone, in or out of the club, I had to be compensated by money or blood. There was no turning the other cheek. When relationships become a ledger of profit and loss, you have no friends, no loved ones, just pluses and minuses. You are absolutely alone. So that was all, of course, about forgiveness. And, Gemma is never the one to do that.
Right, that
She
part.
doesn't know or cannot even grasp the concept of that. So I'm like, bitch, do you even understand these words that you were reading? Because you don't know nothing about forgiveness or anything of that nature. And it's like, why would you want to read this? You are just as much to blame for his death as Clay is.
Right. And I
So
want to really get to the bottom of that. That's why they really need to give us the prequel.
yes, it's a lot of knowns but unknowns, and I need to know for sure like what happened. I need some circumstantial evidence that shows proof that we know and everyone knows that
Right.
this
I mean, because the subliminal is out there, that
yeah,
somebody must have messed with his bike and Gemma and Clay was messing around. But I need to see Gemma and Clay having a conversation of we gonna take him out tonight.
hey, don't put too much on her. She loved that cold terror and wanted the best for her.
Yeah, I'm saying right now, we know later on what took place, when we see her tramp stamp. But right now, she seemed like a nosy ass little wench.
Right. We're trying to stay in this moment of this episode. We all know. But right now, at this moment, when I first, little bitch, get back. Stay away. You don't want no smoke with Sam Crow. You don't want it with my sons. Okay? Okay, so where we at? Where we at? What we got? We did that. There we So Unser goes to hell, and that's when he tells him, like, you got to be the good cop, because I know I'm a dirty ass mo. And right. He, we can't both be like that. He said, I'm trying. See, Unser does really care about Charmin, and he does want the best of Charmin, but himself is in a of her. And of course, it don't help that he is in love with Gemma.
Yo, he'll do anything for Gemma.
And that's the problem. Like, just imagine if Unser wasn't on Sam Crow's payroll. They could not get away with half of the stuff that they do. Like, it would not work. Because not only do you have
got two things working for him with Unser. Yeah, he's old. He about to die of cancer. He don't care. And 2, he in love with Gemma. So and 3, he getting paid. And as long as his little town ain't got folks selling crank in it, then he cool.
Well, and you don't get the best pay being a police officer and sheriff. And cancer treatments are not cheap. So he got to get his coin. So I ain't mad.
Well, I mean, he probably got some good insurance. That government insurance is good insurance.
He might. But well, then he don't act like it. He don't act like it at all. Period.
Yeah, because you remember when he was going to the little treatments and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yes, and he also tells her, and I think, and that's why, he had to level with him, because he needed to know where, who he was getting in bed with as far as Zobel and everything. Is you doing anything with him? Just so you don't stand for that, but this is what's going on. This is what happened. And so I understand that he told him, but like he said, just don't leave this room.
Right. Period. And I can't remember, but I don't think it does, because I think Gemma exposes them later on. But I really hope that he don't say nothing, because I was getting nervous, because when he was giving Clay and Jax all the information with the DVD and everything, I was like, dang, don't tell. Then he was like, oh, I got one more thing for you. And I was like, no, don't tell.
Yeah, that was supposed to be our reaction. They got us good with that. But
yeah.
But yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, no. Because, heads want to be the one that's grain. But he actually looked out for them this time. And I'm like, okay, he threw a dog a bone, I guess you could say. And that was when he did that. Yep. So he told them and everything that was going on, except about the Gemma thing. And they greatly appreciated it. And I was like, wow. So Hell got some points for me at that point. Okay, Hell, you ain't such a dick. You can be cool. And I fucked with that. Okay. So this cracked me up, because they totally just bust in on their meeting, and he just messed up Jacob's whole entire deal with those 2 men. And I'm like, first of all, Oswald once again just standing there more than anything, and Clay doing most of the talking. I'm like, how you going? First of all, why would Clay come up in there? All up in his biker gear and stuff.
Right.
And I'm like,
he don't even look professional.
Here, do this. But he just sat, but he told it like it was. He spoke facts and they didn't care. And Oswald just got this small look on his face. I'm like, sit your ass down. You ain't even do nothing. He get on my nerve. Now he get on. Look, now I'm mad. Now he get on my nerves too much.
Right. I'm just sitting up here like, you know how, like, what was it? Okay, so you remember when Jax went into the cigar place and then he was like, "You want us to wait outside?" And Clay's like, "Yeah, wait outside." Like, Clay should have waited outside on himself on this one. Clay should have waited outside.
Yeah, really. Like at least on a bow tie, clip on or something, or at least take the cut off. Like shit. But Clay ain't never gonna take that cut off until he got to take that cut off, obviously. So when Jax comes home, Tara's there and she's having her moments. This is one thing that irritates me about Tara, though. When she has her moments, oh, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out if I belong here, where I fit into your life.
Oh, she is so
Oh, I
desperate for
can't handle
approval.
this, the porn, the club, the this. The that. Bitch, do you want to be here or do you don't? Can you handle it or can you cannot? That's where it gets to me on some of her. Because you here.
I heard this is what gets me with her. Like, most doctors in some ways have like a godlike complex, but it's usually the men or women who are like top neurosurgeons or something like that. But I feel like she's like that at work, and then she's super extra commercial industrial strength needy outside of work. And it's
Mm,
annoying.
yeah. Oswald is not just a man with inherited money, no power, no profession, no comes. Exactly. No nothing. Like nothing. Period. Tara's a needy biatch and she needs constant validation. Yes, she does. And that's what I'm saying. If that's like these little things she has, like you just need to have that attention. Like, don't you just know he here, he come home to you every night. He ain't at the club screwing around with crow eaters. Like he protects you. If it pum, he coming to you and coming over you, covering you. Like he trusts you with his son. You basically are responsible for the life of his son. You know, so you that girl. What can you do? Wendy ain't nowhere around. Like, what do you want? What do you want? And why did that just? Is it the porn? Like,
Like, I'm just trying to, like, first of all, it's kind of like, you know what you signed up for, okay? Like, I say this all the time in these situations. Like, when I say the story of, there was a lady who found a snake frozen in the snow and brought it home, and then, she nursed the snake back to health, and then one day the snake bit her and she's like, "Why'd you bite me?" And the snake was like, "You knew what it was when you brought me home." And I feel like a lot of these women are bitching and complaining about situations, but they knew what they brought home. So why are you surprised? And here's the thing, Jax isn't even giving you, it's the other women. And Gemma even told her that it's not that you don't trust Jax, it's the other women.
exactly. It's like, where do you fit in with the club? Like Gemma said again, you love the man, you learn to love the club. Period. Do you love this man or not? You love the club or not? Can you deal with this? Like, don't come all up in this stuff. You don't help, sew the man up from bullet holes and
Mm-hmm.
keeping secrets from this man, helping this mama heal from SA. Like, you don't did it. You here, it's like, what do you want? You definitely have found your place. So what you talking about? You don't know where you fit in. You know exactly where you fit in. So what is this?
Mm-hmm.
What is this? Can we stop the charade? Can we please? So Lilith Layla comes back and she's got her car all fixed and Opie tells her everything's good and she gives Opie her card and says, "This is my number." He gave her his number. He happens, he's like, "Call me." flirting with him, trying to get all up in there. So next time pull over and call us. Yeah, we call him is what he means. But you can see the exchange in earlier that they had, that there was some chemistry there. And, even though she's on the white girl, she's still kind of a cute girl for what she is. I couldn't be Jax. It must be tiring every day telling her yes, and you are pretty, you stay here, yes, you are my old lady. I would just tell her, go home. Go home, Roger.
Not to go home, Roger. Oh, that is hilarious.
He loves her. He ain't gonna tell her to go home. He ain't telling her to go nowhere. Now, maybe if Wendy was there, see, and that's why I wonder where. See, I'm trying to. What I wish Wendy would have been in more in the middle. We don't see Wendy again until what, season 4?
Mm-hmm.
See, or 5, season 4 or 5. So I'm like, dang, was Sopranos going on at the time?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. But Sopranos did run for a long time.
It did run for a long time. Maybe Sopranos was still running, and I don't know. But I just wish there would have been more Wendy. Because when she finally did pop back up, I was like, I forgot about her. Like, I completely forgot
Yeah,
that
she done fell
Abel
off
had a
the
whole
face
other
of the
mom.
earth and everything.
I was like, dang, I forgot about you. Where you been? I forgot you. Oh, I had to go back and realize, like, what happened to her? Like, she went to rehab and all that. But I'm like, dang, what happened to Wendy? I
Yeah.
believe she was on Sopranos in the meantime. Yep, probably. That's what I'm thinking. Probably.
Well, one thing that Wendy might not have done that her actual character decided to do was make sure she was still getting a check.
Faux
Not
show.
she was annoying on Sopranos.
I never watched Sopranos. I tried. I don't know what happened. Not that I didn't like it. I just never finished or whatever. But I might watch it one of these days and like those. But okay. So what happened is, this right here. This was like a ooh-wee moment. So Sam Crow is having church, and this is when they're deciding if they're gonna retaliate right back, as far as, and everything. So, that's how they roll. They get back. Retaliation is a must. That's just the name of the game here. So, of course, there has to be a vote. But man, I don't think Clay was banking on Bobby and his nay. And so that pissed him off. But I was so happy when that vote was at least a tie. Because I was like, no, Clay cannot win this one. I'm tired of Clay always getting his damn way. And it was not his way tonight. Okay?
Mm-hmm. And he
Jack
was
didn't
hot.
love her. He's comfortable with her, fulfilling his teenage ship. Those two didn't know each other and only spoke about the club, kids, or drama. And that's fine. That's fine. But still, because the fact of the point is, though, she still loves him. And she would hate to have seen Tara with him. So
Mm-hmm.
I would just want to see that because, Tara had it easy. She never really had to, she didn't have to compete with no other broad besides Gemma.
And hell, competing with Gemma's like competing with 30 hoes.
I was just about to say, which is enough any damn way. But she just had to worry about Gemma. And everything else, she didn't have to worry about no other broad. She was number one. So it was never a thought of anything of any kind. lucky for her, obviously. So yeah, so once everyone got up and then Bobby stayed back and had to explain to him like look G, I look, I gotta be on the side of the right side this time. So you can tell this is probably one of the first times, if any time, Bobby has ever went against Clay. Because if he felt the need to sit back there and explain to him, like nobody else had to sit back and explain why they didn't want what they said nay. So why did he? But I was also surprised that Opie was with Clay instead of Jax. That kind of made me think, like, for real, I didn't know how that was gonna go. Because I figured Opie would have rolled with Jax no matter what. Period. And so here's Gemma, gotta console him and stroke his ego because he lost the bet, he lost the vote, or whatever. But she's doing what she does best. And then the part that really took Kate was this last 20 seconds of the episode.
Right.
So
This was jacked up.
we now find out why Zobel's daughter meant when she said the
Van is
car's
set.
in place. Everything's set. And so that car had a bomb in it. And Chips goes to click, 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 boom. And there you go. And now he's just laying out with a busted head with blood bleeding from his head. And that is how that episode.
And now it's gonna be war for real. They didn't mess with Otto. They didn't mess with Chips.
You don't mess with the club because how close that van could have been wherever when they did start it up. That could have gone on inside the garage or anything.
Right, and I believe that's the plan that they wanted to take place. I believe that this was, as they say, weapons of mass destruction. I believe that that's it. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I am done.
I believe it's season 6.
Oh my God, I cannot. But yeah, I think that was meant to cause a lot of damage. I believe that they thought, that would hurt more people than it did. So,
but still, they're doing anything and everything they can to just aggravate Sam Crow, to get him to respond, to catch them slipping any way they can. They see that they're not biting for anything. So they doing any and everything they can to get to them.
Right.
Because they know that the law is on their side. When they go to retaliate, they going to have all the evidence that they can. They trying to build a binder, like the binders that the housewives be bringing.
Right, like the Monique binder. They building a Monique binder. Time, date, stamp, everything.
Like, you're going to have pinpoints and everything in a minute. Like, really? It's like
a whole PowerPoint. They're going to have a whole PowerPoint presentation with maps and charts and pie graphs and everything.
For real, they is. That's what they really is going to have. Okay, so the next episode is season 2, episode 6, which is False Cerebri. And it's the 6th episode of the season, 19th episode. And the summary of it says, incited by Zobel, Clay sets a course for retaliation, forcing Jax to turn to an unlikely source to save the club from destruction. Shows Sarah how an old lady handles her anger. Okay, I'm trying to think of who was this unlikely source. I really can't remember. Do you know who the unlikely source is? Baby, you know who the unlikely source is. Who is the unlikely source?
Read it. What happens again?
Um, it says, incited by Zobel, Clay sets a course for retaliation, forcing Jax to turn to an unlikely source to save the club from destruction.
Maybe it's
Is it the
maybe
man?
is that's when Jax and Hale work together some more?
Well, now I want to read the plot. Why is this killing me? This must be really something that happens because it's like my subconscious just, it must be something.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can't remember. I gotta watch it.
I don't know. Well, we'll find out next week who that unlikely source is. Now I'm excited to figure out who it is. I'm like, oh shit, that's who it was. But yeah. But yeah, so that does it for season 2, episode 5. Y'all, we will be back next week with episode 6. And
Mm-hmm.
thank you,
Don't forget
BB and
tomorrow
Lady B,
night.
for always being here. Please tell a friend to tell a friend because I would love to get more people in here. You know, I've been posting it in the Facebook groups and everything. I know this is an old show, so nobody care. But if they really love this show like they do, they should want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But yeah, that'll do it. We will see y'all next week and all of that good stuff. Thank you, Dina, for my lovely co-host for joining me for another episode. And thank you for watching Death is Nasty Thing.